Now, ladies and gentlemen, one of Counter-Strike 2's biggest criticisms during its release was the original cut content from CSGO, a decade-old game, which in a way had helped shape the CS community into what it is today. Just up until the last few weeks with this Call to Arms update and recent leaks showing that CS2's first real gameplay content could be coming soon, aside from both of those, we haven't really seen much. The data mines that we have seen have shown maps, cosmetics, but most importantly for today's video is modes. Leaks through data mines have shown a return to Danger Zone could be coming soon in the Counter-Strike universe. Now for some quick context for today's video, is originally a commentary discussing all and everything Danger Zone, what it did right, what it did wrong, its initial release, but also why it failed. Today's video, I want to break down and discuss these recent data mines, give my thoughts on how Valve could push this to possibly be a mainstream BR, when we could see it alongside a bunch more. Today's video sponsor is Skins Monkey. Skins Monkey is a buying and trading marketplace where you can trade off your old skins for something new. All you do is log in with Steam, then you trade the skins you no longer want to pick up the new skins you want to obtain. Any remaining cash from trading goes to your balance that can be used in any future trade. By using my code MANDO, you can get up to a free $5, and if you choose to deposit alongside using my code, you get a total of a 35% deposit bonus. With Skins Monkey's large variety of skins, they also offer daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways. If interested, it'll be the top of the link in the description below. Now, firstly, for today's video, I want to break down and discuss all these leaks through data mines in regards to Danger Zone. Now, all of these leaks are from Gabe Follower on Twitter. He's a data miner for Counter-Strike 2, but also content creator. Links to his YouTube as well as his Twitter will be down in the description. Make sure you go check him out. Let's start from the beginning. These leaks started to float around 6 months ago. Then you had rumors piled on top of that of a return to Danger Zone inside Counter-Strike 2, but most of us knew during Counter-Strike 2's release that nothing new, or at least as big as Danger Zone, wasn't going to be coming based off how the game was at the time. Basic fundamentals of the game needed fixing. Small commands need to be added, such as Bob. And up until this recent Call to Arms update, the game is just now starting to feel normal, which is almost a year later from its first debut. Now, dating back to the end of CSGO going into CS2 at the very end of 2023, I can't find the tweet or any sort of video, but there was a lot of leaks through data mines showing that there was Danger Zone items inside Counter-Strike 2. I think people at the time, and even now, think that Valve is just most likely waiting to finish Danger Zone, or more so polishing CS2 before they add anything big such as Danger Zone, which we'll get to all that later. Going back to April 4th of 2023, Gabe Follower put out a post mentioning third-person taunts, or essentially emotes, for Danger Zone. Previously, we only had mentions of first-hand and third-person taunts, but with the CS2 beta release, we got actual animation sequences. It's important to note that this could most likely be related to Danger Zone, but won't be used in normal Counter-Strike matchmaking. I think we can see that some of these have been used inside Counter-Strike 2 right now, especially with this recent Call to Arms update. This clearly here is the winning animation from when you win a game. Now, it's crazy to leak that this update that just came out a little over 3 weeks ago has been almost leaked for almost a year. It's pretty crazy. On February 7th, Gabe Follower put out another tweet saying there are mentions of VIP assassination, escape and Danger Zone survival game modes, and deathmatches main script file. VIP and escape are old cut game modes from previous Counter-Strikes, and obviously Danger Zone is from CSGO. And then following up on the 22nd of February, Gabe Follower put out another tweet. Question of the day: they renamed the C4 loadout slot and added a new one for miscellaneous items. If new, what could it be for? Definitely not the Zeus that has a separate one. Pretty much everyone in the comments and their mother's dog said that, well, this is for Danger Zone, unless they added something brand new to Counter-Strike, which I don't really see happening, at least in normal matchmaking. Maybe everyone could be getting a riot shield, but who knows? And that pretty much concludes all the data mines in regards to Danger Zone. I quickly want to give a brief history on Danger Zone, since I don't think a lot of people played it, as well as there's quite a few new people in the CS scene just for Counter-Strike 2. Valve first introduced Danger Zone to Counter-Strike in 2018, when Fortnite was on the rise and PUBG was on its decline. Everyone and their mother's dog wanted a piece of the Battle Royale cake. Valve made something new and refreshing for about 24 hours and had Counter-Strike fans hyped, and then it kinda died. Until its last games in CSGO, it had a big fan base. Though it wasn't large, it was still there. Now, something from my experience, but also some of my friends as well as the community, just because it wasn't played much, it gave other people an option to play something else that was still in the Counter-Strike universe. It gave another option for players who didn't want to sweat and try hard and competitive, but still having that CS charm. Aside from that, it also had some real issues, such as a lack of content and changes to make it refreshing. FPS was awful on launch until its last days in CSGO. And if we think FPS is bad in the current maps and the map pool that we have now inside Counter-Strike 2, Danger Zone inside CS2 could be a big issue, let alone all of the glitches. With that being said, I now want to discuss its return to Counter-Strike 2 and what it could be like. In my opinion, Valve could take this one of two ways. One of them being, well, we just see Danger Zone how it was inside CSGO, pretty much a remaster on the Source 2 engine. Or they could take it the second route, which I actually think is pretty likely, which may surprise some of you. I think Valve could make this something mainstream, maybe something long-term for all BR fans and not just Counter-Strike players. With that being said, things would need to change. When I played it in its last days inside CSGO, but also for CSGO operations for some of the weekly challenges, there's a video floating around on Twitter from around a year ago from CS2 anti-cheat Vatcoin. He said the Danger Zone mode on CSGO is literally infested with cheats. Without adding an anti-cheat system, this mode will remain full of cheaters on CS2, which is exactly the problem it's going to have if it comes to CS2. And let's just say Valve wants to push this mode, or maybe its own game, to be a mainstream BR. This is going to be a major setback, and it's probably going to be the main reason why people don't play it, even Counter-Strike players. Valve would also need to make this mode optimized to perfection, or just make the game, well, normally optimized, like most games do. This has also been a big criticism for Counter-Strike 2 ever since its first debut. Though it has gotten better, things still need a lot of work, and it's probably going to be a couple years until things start to feel normal, at least on older hardware. I think a lot of people, and just players in general inside the CS community, like to forget that CS has always been one of those games up until Counter-Strike 2 that can be played on pretty much any computer. You got an E-machine from 20 years ago sitting in your closet, you got an old Dell laptop, you were able to run Counter-Strike. Now, would it overheat the thing? Would you be getting 400 FPS? No, but it was still playable. And that's why so many people gravitated towards Counter-Strike over really any other game, at least for some of the reasons. I think Valve should make it feel like Counter-Strike, but make it playable for everyone, which also hops into gameplay. I know this sounds kind of weird and confusing, but if you ever played Danger Zone, I think you'd know what I mean. Valve would need to make Danger Zone, well, feel like Counter-Strike, but also maybe adjust the movement, adjust small things here and there to make it so, well, any other BR fan from, let's just say, Fortnite, PUBG, maybe Warzone could come over and give it a try and actually enjoy it. With that being said, when could we see this? Now, this is all my opinion, so take it with a grain of salt. Depending on how Counter-Strike goes within the next year, which so far it's going pretty good. The game's getting more optimized. We're getting small microtransactions for the skins community. We're getting maps that are remastered from CSGO, and maybe some new ones on top of that in the future. I think all people are waiting for now is the game to be fixed even more, an anti-cheat, maybe an operation. And then I think we could see Danger Zone, depending on when all that releases, by the end of 2024 or sometime in 2025. Something I put in my original script, or the commentary of Danger Zone, is based off of how big this mode is. Valve is going to need a whole division or team just for Danger Zone, based off of how big the map is, let alone the mode. With all this talk of Danger Zone, there's also been some leaks of a new operation, and I think we could see the operation long before Danger Zone, based off of how much work it's going to need, one to launch, but also the post-production as well. Now, what do y'all think down below? I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts of where you see Valve pushing Danger Zone, if it's just going to be another Counter-Strike game mode, or could you see them making it mainstream? I definitely could. The secrecy at Valve is something, well, it's always been there, and it definitely wouldn't surprise me. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay positive, sexy. I'm out, guys.